Today, we're doing another day in the life video, Christmas edition. I thought it'd be fun to kind of document my day on my days off, especially Christmas, because I actually have a thing I want to do besides just hang out with the family today. I'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, I love Phil's coffee. My wife and son got it for me. And this spice mixer I actually have for like 20 years now. I learned it, I picked it up when I learned how to make coffee from Elton John in Good Eats. But yeah, I just love the smell of coffee and using this like Chemex that I have. There's nothing quite like just really good drip coffee from Phil's. If you're ever in San Francisco, you should definitely pick it up. I'm sure you could get it in other places.
It's Christmas, so gonna have some coffee. Kids are gonna open presents. I have a plan today on something that I want to build while I hang out with the family, and I want to share that kind of project with you guys, and also kind of how I manage like this. Yeah, here they come.
It's probably my favorite time of Christmas, opening presents with them.
Kids just finished opening their presents, so we're gonna get some time to do a little bit of work. So the project that I want to build today is essentially a writing tool. A lot of people online has been asking me how I do a lot of my writing. I recently started a newsletter. It's been doing extremely well. Honestly, genuinely surprised how quickly it's growing. I think it really has to do with the writing and also kind of the branding, like the image generation that I used for it. And I thought I would kind of share how I'm doing that today. And also the goal for today is to build a prototype of like an encapsulated like project of this like writing, this new way of writing. Obviously it's like AI driven, right? A lot of my writing, a lot of everything I do is AI driven. I'm always trying to optimize. How can you write with AI without losing your voice? And how can you generate images with AI that fits like your branding? I think these are like very common problems that a lot of people are facing. And I just don't want the AI to be a distraction from the content and the value that I'm trying to bring to my audience. Anyways, today we're building this thing and also hanging out with the family. So right now they're playing with the toys and stuff. So I'm gonna do some building.
As nerdy as this may sound, one of my favorite things to do is coding and building things.
This is the app right now. And essentially you can make new files. So all of this file management is not actually working right now. And then the idea is you're gonna be able to choose the model that you want to choose, you know, like Gemini. And I think importantly, I want to make sure you could do local with like Olama. But yeah, so that's like the high level idea to start. So it's gonna be like an editor essentially, right? And it's like hyper focused, but I'm gonna have like a little AI thing, AI input right here. So I'm kind of debating whether I want to have just like a straight up terminal right here, because the initial V1 of this, I just want the user to be able to log in with like Codex or Cloud Code straight here and manage their project. Everything around it will be encapsulated to this. So it's very like similar to how Cursor would work, right? It's essentially an editor that you can point to any file directory and then you can like look at all the folders, but it will inherently use like any skills on top of it. That's kind of the high level idea. And obviously I would probably want to bundle some skills so that my audience and my subscribers can get access to a specific type of writing and kind of like pre-baked skills, because not everyone's going to know how to use Cloud Code and use the plugins, use the skills, use the MCPs and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to like wrap some of that knowledge and wrap some of the workflows that I do that work really well, and kind of like I could also pre-bake some like scripts, right? Like image generation, I have a script that hits Nano Banana, for example. But yeah, maybe you have like a different image model that you want to hit, right? So that's the whole idea. It's like it's gonna be a light wrapper that I have some control over, and I could like bake some of the things that I use all the time, and then like ship it to my audience, and yeah, just it's a way for me to share some of my knowledge easier without like everyone knowing how Cloud Code and like Codex works. I think I'm getting baby aggro, so I gotta go and hang out with them. I'll probably let Claude do some stuff while I'm gone, but this is kind of how I've been doing side projects as like a busy dad. Just run some prompts, go hang out, come back and do etc.
It's so amazing how I can actually do that. And, you know, I'm always trying to encourage the kids to be engineers. So this is Crunch Labs. It's pretty cool. And a healthy serving of breakfast my wife made. Getting a few more prompts in while I eat. But yeah, we're actually going to go for a walk today. So I'm preparing some snacks. I'm going to prepare some waters for them. We probably won't eat all of this, but
It's
yeah.
strange, Daddy. Look, I'm supposed to connect.
But this is like dad duty number one, right? Helping your kids with Legos and stuff like that. Ooh, there you go. My Christmas gift. All right, go change. While we're getting ready, I want to show you guys my messy setup. The main monitor, and then this thing right here is just actually connected to this computer. And the reason why I have this set up is so I could have, this is a Linux machine and it has like a 4090, and this is my like machine learning slash like video games like setup. This is my rig. So I have like a bunch, anytime I need to do any like heavy local image generation or local LLM stuff, I'll have it here. And then I also work here. So I have another laptop here for work. So I'll take it out and put it here. And then I could actually like swap the main monitor to have these two as well. So it's a very basic kind of messy setup. Like this, I don't need this because I could technically swap, but it just lets me have to do both at the same time. Yeah. So right now I'm debugging this issue where I like type in something and I hit source and then it goes blank. So I'm gonna install MCP and then have the errors automatically be funneled into Cloud Code and try to fix it that way. While this goes, I'm gonna go out for a walk with my wife and the kids. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun Christmas. I'm already going back and forth, so I'm like losing context every single step of the way, but you know, it's just a side project. All right, let's go, guys. I love going on walks with the family. It's a little chilly today, but we live pretty close to a park, so it's just so nice to be able to walk. Yep, on a walk. And near our house, there's this like pond. It's not really a pond. It's just like a little water sewage kind of thing, but a bunch of ducks live here. And I'm zoomed here. They're not actually this close. This is our snack destination, so we always stop by here, grab some snacks. We feed the ducks a little bit. Look at this majestic goose. It's cleaning its feathers. Just kidding. So I feel like it's super important to get sun. And my next year's resolution is to get super fit. I want to be like super fit. Recently, some of my friends were talking about VO2 max as being like the biggest indicator of longevity. So this year I quit alcohol, and next year I'll probably start drinking it again because it was just a year-long challenge. But next year my goal, my whole year-long challenge, is to raise up my VO2 max and lose a ton of weight. Someone gave us this on the road. That was a fantastic walk. So time to start grinding again. Okay, so back at it. I wanted to take this time a little bit to talk about like AI content generation, because I think it's one of those topics that people ask me so much questions about. How do I write my content? How do I generate the images? How do I run my Substack? How do I post on LinkedIn? So this whole topic of having a brand for yourself as like engineers or tech workers, I think it's going to be very big as AI gets even more and more, bigger. I think having a presence online, having like a brand for yourself, I think it's going to get more important.
Also, one thing really cool is being able to actually make money with like Substack and newsletters. I started mine like about 2 weeks ago, and I've already made like close to $1,000. I'm always trying to think of like what is the best value that I can get without letting AI content or slop distract the content, right? The point is I have a bunch of things in my mind and I need to translate it in a way that is very like value add to the readers, right? And oftentimes what I see is people don't like when things look very obvious like AI, right? But I don't hide that I'm using AI to help me write my content or generate my images. It's more that I do it in a way where there's a sense of taste, right? There's this like fine, I think a lot of engineers, a lot of like people will need to think about this balance in the future of like where is their line when it comes to AI generated like content or AI generated anything, right? What is the difference between a fully generated image versus like using it for as part of a thumbnail? You're using only some part of it. What about the AI that's used in Photoshop that like autofills certain areas, right? So there's like a whole thing, and I think everyone has different stances and lines, and they need to like they need to have it. For me, the biggest thing is if I read a piece of content, if I see like a piece of image, is it kind of like what I want? Does it like represent what I want? Same thing with the code. Do I fully understand what's going on? That's kind of the high level, like where my stance is on like generated content. But anyways, for my writing, for one example, for me to generate one piece of like newsletter or whatever, I usually start with like a voice script. I'll go for a run or I'll go for a walk, and then I'll just talk about the article. So I'll have basically the entire contents done while I'm walking. And then I'll take that, put it into Cloud Code, and then I built this huge pipeline where it corrects all of my spellings, formats it in a certain way. I've like embedded this like writing style where it has like key points, where it has the hooks, the payoffs, you know, all these like transition parts, like all of this thing is like embedded into my writing agent. And then I'll also like have a validation editor agent that looks at it, and then I'll have like an iteration where I manually give feedback and change things manually. And after all of that is done, then I'll run it through my image generation pipeline, which analyzes different sections of my newsletter and then gives me the prompts that I need to use to generate. And all of this I built with Cloud Code. The way I generate these things, even though now it's a lot faster, but leading up to it, getting to this point took a long time, right? And that's something that I did because I'm an engineer and I wanted to optimize my writing, and I'm doing this as a hobby and as like a work full time. So there's no way I can just write everything and draw everything. But yeah, like technically I could draw these things too. The point is you should be able to do these on your own, at least manually, so that you can figure out a way to tell the AI to do exactly what you want. Like even generation of images. I wrote about this, but everyone on LinkedIn and stuff, they have the same generic like cartoon look, which is like from ChatGPT. You could tell, and that's the thing. Like they are just like using M dashes and things like that. There are these AI giveaways, and I think it distracts people from the content. So what I try to do is try to make content that is, I'm not trying to hide that I'm using AI, obviously, but I'm doing it in a way where that the AI part of it doesn't distract the content. Of course, some people will hate it. Some people will always be on that fence. But my thing is, I'm hoping that the investigations I do, the explorations I do, and then my insights from being in the industry for so long, and me also continually pushing like my knowledge on AI and stuff like that, I think that's the value, like the nuggets of information from there. That's the value that I'm trying to push out. My buddy just made a Battleship game. He just vibe coded it. Check it out. So this is like working all online and everything. He's destroying me though. Oh, I got one. Yeah, I won. Oh my god, that's so cool. He's gonna write a newsletter about this, so subscribe.
The really cool things I've been trying with Claude is the Claude Chrome extension. And you could get this through Claude, but basically there's this Chinese place that I'm gonna go pick up food from. But I kind of want it to like pick a menu for me. For like a family of 4. So I'm gonna like just give it some random thing and see how good it can pick things out. It basically takes over your Chrome, and then you can do it. So like these are the cool things I'm like playing around with. But this is kind of the future. So let me try. So I'm gonna use Whisper Flow, so I could just speak to it. So I'll say, hey, I want to order Chinese food from this Mandarin Delight place. I already have the menu open. I want you to go through and order a Christmas lunch for a family of 4. I have small kids, so I'm trying to avoid spicy food. But yeah, just think of a good balanced food. One thing I definitely want is chow fun and probably green beans and chicken, because that's what the kids want. But surprise me with some other dishes that might be good. So you could imagine that like in the future, Claude could have context of like the things that I like to eat. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. I'll approve the plans. It could have the context of the things that I like to eat, what my family likes to like eat. And then I never need to like tell it what I want to do. So like, I feel like that's kind of like the future. Like these AI systems are going to have small bits of like memory about our preferences, and then be able to take that preference everywhere, not just like right now, like these kind of things already exist, right? Like recommendation systems like Amazon or Facebook or Instagram or even Netflix, right? All these things, right? Well, I found like a dinner for 4. I don't know if I like this, but I mean, we'll see. But you can see that it's like doing it, right? I just want the AI to know about me so it could be helpful. Now, there is always this like moral thing, right? Like, do I want the AI to know everything about me? I guess I'm more of a technologist, and I'm kind of on the assumption that basically everything about us, these major tech companies already know in some form, right? Unless you're like an Amish or something. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys this because this is so amazing. I'm just using AI basically for everything in my life, whether it's side projects, ordering stuff. I'm always just trying to push the boundaries a little bit and make sure I'm on top of these things, because these are the things that are gonna in your career help you grow, help you change, like level you up. Like you could think of how these things could compose and combo into different things, right? My son wanted to have a battle, so you know that little plastic part on the bottom, I 3D printed that.
This is a good battle.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah!
But it's lunchtime, so I'm here to pick up some Chinese food. I kind of want to watch Die Hard. Do you guys watch Die Hard? Time for an update. It's about 3:13, and the kids are playing some games, hanging out upstairs. So I got some chance to come and work on this thing. So this right here, let me just show you guys. So this is a project I'm calling Mia Noir. It means like my shadow. Honestly, it probably translates to my black, but I'm interpreting as my shadow. So the idea is you have an instance of Claude Code running, and then it just like writes you the files. So this is kind of the system prompt I'm writing for Mia Noir. There's a lot more I need to do, but I just have it. Write me a story. The whole idea and the whole concept here is that because Claude Code is already an amazing agent and it could help you write, I'm going to try to build essentially skills that are embedded into this, so you can just focus on the writing, but you have access to Claude to do the editing. So you might wonder why we need this at all, because you know Claude Code already runs on your terminal and things like that, and you could technically install plugins and all this kind of stuff. But I think there is this like sweet spot of, I don't like people who don't want to download or manage or learn like skills and all this kind of stuff. They just want to like prompt something and have things work. So this is a way for me to deliver a ton of value of like embedding skills and slash commands and all this functionality into something that's wrapped, that has like some nice UI for just focus on writing. And if it's on top of an Electron app, I could build scripts or additional functionality that runs just really well with Claude, right? Like, for example, I have an image generation thing where I use like Nano Banana. For my flow, I just use Claude Code, and Claude Code generates that, and then it goes into a directory. That stuff works for me, but for most users, they're not gonna like even know how to set that up, even if they have Claude Code. So the idea is all of those things I'm gonna build into this like thing, and it's essentially a delivery system for like scripts that Claude Code could run. So it's like a marriage between them. But I don't want to build an entire agentic thing under the hood. I just want people to be able to use this and use it based on their usage needs. So and be able to add their own stuff to it. So it's just gonna be like a wrapper in a sense. Basically, I'm gonna build it. I'm gonna try to run it for my newsletter stuff and see how far it goes. And then if it's good enough, I'll like release it to my subscribers.
All right, it's dinner time. We don't have anything fancy, just leftover some food. Honestly, I know some families have like big Christmas dinners, but not us. This is a little present my son got, and it's a fun puzzle. All right, let me quickly run through all of the features that I built so far. So I have like a settings, and you could essentially switch to dark mode or to have light mode. And the whole idea is like we'll have these like writing styles, and I'll probably make this like bake this in as like a library that you can download later. And we're gonna have like memory. Like I have this concept of like indexing all of the documents that you write into a vector DB. I'm using Chroma DB under the hood, but essentially it's gonna have like this automated RAG system, like a augmented retrieval thing as you write. So if you ever want to reference something, the AI will be able to query your own writing. And you could add your OpenAI key or your Gemini key. And then I have this segment called like branding images. And I just created this like in Nano Banana as like a sample like reference image that you could basically create like LinkedIn images or whatever, newsletter images in your branding style. And all you need is like a reference image. That's kind of the high level concept. And here you just like open this Noir like thing. It's basically terminal that I built into here, and then you could ask whatever you want. So let's say that new chapter at Google. So I had AI like write this thing for me, and it's kind of cool. Like I could like tell it to write whatever I want, but I could also just say like come in here, and then there's this like injection thing, and you could say reward this, for example, and then you can send it to Noir, and then it like injects it and then starts thinking. As you can see, it's like it found the file. I don't know what this is, I gotta look into that, but now it's kind of going through and giving me options, and it has all the Claude, plan mode, accept mode, or whatever. Let's just go with option 1, and then once it marinates, I guess. I really like this little thing. But anyways, it will give me the diff of it. So I really like how programming has diffs, so you can review the changes before it happens. And that's kind of what I try to build into here. So you could go ahead and like accept these, and there you go. And there's also like an accept all. I also am now working on this like little drop down, and the whole idea here is that oh, looks like this is. Yeah, I gotta fix that output. Why is it doing that? Anyways, the whole idea here is you could generate image, and what this should do is I baked a skill into this, like a Claude skill. So it has very specific instructions on what it needs to do. It needs to grab the sample image, the branding image that I put in like my settings, and then it's gonna run my script that I baked into this Electron app, and it will just like create a prompt using Claude Code, because Claude is already really great at prompting. And then essentially it's gonna call that generation script, and it will generate the image, and it will save it into this directory. It's using Nano
banana behind the scenes, and obviously I added a key here, and that's why I can do it. I'm still tinkering on how I could get it to look exactly like this, because I haven't like finished it yet. But for branding, usually like branding images and getting reference image to look exactly like your prompt, it takes a few iteration cycles. I would say at least 4 to 10 iterations of you telling the AI, hey, it should look this way, it should look that way, and things like that. But yeah, it generated the image. Looks like I have another bug here. It like I don't see. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's like not bad. It's pretty good, but actually it's pretty good. It has like the Google thing. It has like that look. So to me, this is like almost there. It's getting there. It's like the 1930s, 1950s like comic. But I'm not going to use this, but this is a sample, and this is a thing that I wanted to show my audience, like what is possible. And the whole point is I'm going to build this, dog food it, and then ship it for my like newsletter subscribers. But yeah, that's basically what I built. I mean, it has all of the, like all this stuff all here. It has the coding, and like all of this is all good. Like it works, and but yeah. So there's that. Oh, there's also like a source mode, so you can see that behind the scenes it's writing in Markdown. Anyways, yeah, a ton of stuff. I built a ton of stuff in like one day. Cloud Code's like pretty amazing, but it's really the knowledge that I have that I was able to make all of this so quickly. Now, there is a whole nother thing, right? Of how, like, if you guys want a tutorial on how I built something like this using Cloud Code, because it's not like that straightforward. Like if you know how to do it, obviously it's pretty easy. But yeah, there's a bunch of tools that I use besides just Cloud Code to get to here, like the styling and all that kind of stuff. And but yeah, let me know in the comments if you want it. I'll write, and like I'll do like a detail, like multi-series on Cloud Code and stuff like that if you guys want. So let me know. I still have a ton of work before this is ready, but I'm almost at the point where I could let a few like alpha testers like use it and give me feedback. But yeah, it's I added this like story interview thing as well, where the whole idea. Okay, so here's my thought on AI and storytelling and writing. Okay, I think the number one thing that makes writing sound less and less like AI is having real stories about you embedded into your writing. And the best way I found to do that is to build a questionnaire, and I have the AI essentially give me a behavior interview. And so I have all these like questions that I already built into it. And then the whole idea is you just have a conversation with the AI, and you can use like Whisper and answer these questions. But yeah, and once you do that, then you have those like bank of like personal stories that the AI can reference and add into its writing. At least I think that works really well for LinkedIn and like newsletters and things like that. Anyways, I could talk about this forever. I'm like pretty psyched about how far I got. I mean, it looks pretty cool already. But yeah. Anyways, kids calling. I think I gotta go up and put them to bed.
So this is kind of becoming a theme, but Stranger Things now.